verse number 30. So we'll read the verse, translation, purport. We'll sing two songs, beginning and ending, hopefully, get time. And we'll discuss, we'll try to see what this topic of the material nature, especially the intelligence portion of it, out of 26 elements of Sankhya Yoga. Samsayo ata viparyaso nishchaya smritireva cha. We look at Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur's Prabhupada's purport of quoting Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur about Krishna Balaram temple and relating to the dull intelligence, how much it is taking us away from the Lord. Samsayo ata viparyaso nishchaya smritireva cha swapiti uchyate buddher lakshanam vrittita pratak. Samsayo ata viparyaso nishchaya smritireva cha swapa iti uchyate buddher lakshanam vrittita pratak. Samshaya, doubt, ata, then, viparyaso, misapprehension, mischaya, correct apprehension, smriti, memory, eva, also, cha, and, swapa, sleep, iti, thus, uchyate, are said, buddhe, of intelligence, lakshanam, characteristics, vrittita, by their functions, pratak, different. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Doubt, misapprehension, correct apprehension, memory, and sleep are as determined by their different functions are said to be the distinct characteristics of intelligence. Repeat. Doubt, misapprehension, correct apprehension, memory, sleep, as determined by their different functions, are said to be distinct characteristics of intelligence. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Doubt is one of the important functions of the intelligence. Blind acceptance of something does not give evidence of intelligence. Therefore, the word samshaya is very important. In order to cultivate intelligence, one should be doubtful in the beginning, but doubting is not very favorable when information is received from the proper source. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord says that doubting the words of the authority is the cause of destruction. What is the verse he's talking about? So there are a few places in Bhagavad Gita, you'll see that. 9.3 in the most confidential knowledge is talking about Asrata Dana Purusha Dharmasya Pramtapa Aprapti Mam Nivartante Mrityu Samsara Vartamani. One who doesn't have faith, in the introduction also Prabhupada is stressing. First, one must have faith, then only he can understand any devotion service about Krishna, otherwise there is no possibility. Dharmasya, then otherwise he'll rotate in this birth, death, old age, disease. So faith has to be very strong. If you don't have faith on Guru and Sadhu and Krishna, then there is no way we can actually perform any bhakti whatsoever. However, we may sit in the class or anywhere, you don't have full faith in what Guru has to say, what Krishna has to say in Bhagavad Gita, then you will not follow. You will not put into practice. You will simply keep on hearing as a parrot, but you actually will not follow it. So that is the first problem statement. Why the intelligence has doubt, but the doubt has to be come to the really following it. We may have initially doubt what is this devotion service means, how to execute it and everything. But we have to follow. Once the Guru says this is how we have to execute 64 items in chapter 6 of Nectar Devotion, clearly laying out the principle. And most of it we don't follow because we have no idea what those are, neither we want to follow. We are not serious. So that is the problem. Agnascha asrata dhanasya Ruttam jnana asina atma chitvainam samsayom yogam atishtottishta bharata. In chapter 4, Krishna is speaking the same aspect. Agnasya asraddha dhanasya. Agnasya means ignorance. Asraddha dhanasya, not faithful. This doubting mentality is there. Samsayatma vinasvati. Everything is destroyed. Naim asti loko na paro. So in this life, next life, for him there is no progress for him. Materially, spiritually, both. Not only spiritually, even materially also. Because he's always doubting. He's always doubting the Guru, doubting the Shastra, doubting Krishna, doubting the authority. You have no faith. So when you doubt all, that's why you don't follow the authority. That's why you don't follow Guru. You'll come up with your own idea. You'll hear all kinds of kirtans. You'll hear all kinds of classes. You'll read all kinds of books. But who had asked Prabhupada said, recommended those, but we still follow. We have no faith on Prabhupada. We say Jai Prabhupada. That's why sometimes Prabhupada would hear. Tell them to stop Jai Prabhupada chant. Ask them to chant Hare Krishna. So that also we have to know. That's why we have to hear from Prabhupada. Then only, otherwise this doubting mentality will constantly go on. our rest of the life. As described in the Patanjali Yoga system, Pramana, Viparyaya, Vikalpa, Nidra, Sputya, by intelligence only one can understand things as they are. You have to follow the Prabhupada process exactly as it is. By intelligence only can one understand whether or not he is the body. The study to determine whether one's identity is spiritual or material begins in doubt, Atada Brahma Jignasa. When one is able to analyze his actual position, the false identification with the body is detected. This is Viparyasa. So, Prayashchitam Vimarshanam. One must inquire. When false identification is detected, then real identification can be understood. Because we have to distinguish between matter and spirit always. Then, at least in the beginning, that is philosophical understanding. And let's say Prabhupada emphasizes a lot of philosophy. Most of the times he talks about philosophy because that's where we are not clear. 100% we don't have faith or focus, surrender is not there. Then we can't execute devotion service. So that's a more than stories. Prabhupada emphasizes stressing on the philosophy. When we are thorough with philosophy, then we have 100% faith. Then actually we know what is our duty, what we are supposed to do every day, from morning waking up till sleeping. If we're not 100% sure, then we'll do. Priorities will change. Different priorities. Krishna is not the priority. Guru is not the priority. Everything else will be the priority because we are not sure 100% what we are supposed to do. We think we know, but in reality we don't know. So real understanding is described here as a nischaya, fixed of consciousness, as a proved experimental knowledge. This experimental knowledge can be achieved when one has understood the false knowledge. By experimental or proved knowledge, one can understand that he is not the body but spirit soul. Krishna proves that, explaining various characteristics throughout chapter 2, beginning itself. Smriti means memory, and swapa means sleep. Sleep is necessary also to keep the intelligence in working order. If there is no sleep, the brain cannot work nicely. In Bhagavad Gita, it is especially mentioned that persons who regulate eating, sleeping, and other necessities of the body in the proper proportion become very successful in the yoga process. So that's why chapter 6 also is important. What was Prabhupada is talking about here? Yuktahara viharasya yukta chetassu karmasu swapna bodhasya ogo bhavata dukkha. So one must regulate his eating habits, sleeping habits. So that means it is actually every verse is important. Devotees also. No, chapter 6 is not for us. No, it is for us also. Because we have to also regulate. Because we are devoted doesn't mean that you will wake up at any time we want, or we eat how much ever we want, or we sleep at whatever time we want. No, that has to be regulated as well. Otherwise, you can't actually perform Krishna consciousness. So you look at Rupa Goswami, look at Prabhupada, he's always conscious. He always concerned about why devotees are not waking up at 4:30, why they are not attending Mangalarti. Prabhupada used to chastise like anything. So that Prabhupada is very compassionate. At the same time, he used to correct so that we come to the right order. So that's why it is very important to regulate also eating, sleeping, mating, defending. This is especially Yukta Swapna, sleep also, we have to regulate. Yukta Ahara, Viharasya, Yukta Chesa. That's why this Smriti is also mentioned. We have to know what Krishna is saying, what Prabhupada is saying. Can anybody tell me where Prabhupada is talking about the Smriti? How one can purify his memory? Srimad Bhagavatam, I will give the hint. We should know. We have to read Prabhupada's books. We have to read. If you are not reading, please use the December month to read Prabhupada's books. Hear Prabhupada lectures. Don't forget it. That's an offense otherwise. If you are not reading Shastra, if you are not hearing from Prabhupada, then that's also an offense. Prabhupada has spent enormous time in translating the books that we are supposed to read. Our Guru Varga, ISKCON Guru Varga, Prabhupada's disciples, they all read every day. That means we are bigger than them. If we are not reading, that we think that that is the problem. That's where the problem is. We think we are bigger. We already know enough. We don't need to read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Nectar, devotion. So that's where the problem is. If you read it, then we'll know. Ahara Suddho, Sattva Suddhe, Smriti Lambe, Vipramoksha. That Smriti is coming from there. So when it will be purified, Ahara Suddho. When we take only Krishna Prasad. And that also right consciousness. Because I like pasta, pizza, then we will offer that one. No, that's not how cooking should be done. Cooking what is fresh, what is best, what our Acharya Parampara said, with what consciousness we should cook, that's what we have to cook. It is not that I like, yes, in the beginning it's fine, but we have to transform that. Otherwise, you'll constantly think independent agent and I want to enjoy myself, even when we cook. No, then that's not the bhakti. Bhakti means we are supposed to give pleasure to Guru and Krishna. So then we actually ahara suddha, sattva suddha. Then we come to mode of goodness, sattva suddha. Sattva suddha smritilam. Then our memory get purified. Otherwise, memory is always thinking of so many other things. Forgetfulness is coming. Mogasa moga karmano moga gnana vichesa rakshasi masurim jay mohinim sita. Because we are taking shelter of illusion. We are taking shelter of impermanent things. Priorities are impermanent. So then Krishna is not the priority, Guru is not the priority. So that's where the problem is. We have to fix that. Smritir lambe vipramoksha. Then liberation is guaranteed. If you follow this. This is in the Canto 1, I think. No, this is in Bhagavad Gita. I forget exactly which place it is mentioned, but it is there in Bhagavatam also, in one of the purport also, Prabhupada is mentioning this. So these things has to be noted down. We have to really read deeply. So Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam is Vaishnavanam Priyam Gnanam Viraga Saitam Bhakti Saitam Srinvan Supatam Vicharana Paro Vimuched Naraha. 12th Canto, chapter 13, verse number 18, I think. A very important verse. Thus, one, repeated hearing, repeatedly reciting, supatam, detailedly, deeply, vicharana paro. So, then you have to keep on contemplating what exactly Bhagavatam is telling me to do. That is what Anumodan means. It's not Anumodan, is not about the other things. This is nice, that is nice. No. Actually, Anumodan means real Anumodan, glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam. What point we understood? What we are going to practice? How we are going to transform our life? That is a real Anumodan. Sotva Anupadito, Dhyato Anumodito, Sadhya Punaj Saddharmo. Then actually our purification is very quick, rapid. When we repeatedly chanting, repeatedly following what Prabhupada is telling. Otherwise, progress is right away checked. Anartha Nivritti takes many lifetimes. So that is a key here. In Bhagavad Gita, it is especially mentioned that the persons who regulate eating, sleeping, and other necessities of the body in the proper proportion become very successful in the yoga process. There are some of the aspects of the analytical study of the intelligence as described in the both Patanjali yoga system and Sankhya philosophy system of the Kapil Deva and Srimad Bhagavatam. Here Patanjali means earlier class I was discussing that from Pranamaya Kosa to Annamaya Kosa to Manomaya Kosa to Vijnanamaya Kosa to Anandamaya Kosa. That is one level. Or Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains in the same way as covered consciousness to shrunken consciousness to budding consciousness to Muklita consciousness, Purnam Vikasata, Purnam Muklita consciousness. So we have to come to that stage. Right now, the human being especially is in the Jnanamaya Kosa, but he has to come to Vijnanamaya Kosa, realize the consciousness. Then Anandamaya Kosa, fully in the spiritual bliss. But if you're not following, then you can't understand. So let's offer our prayers and we'll try to understand. Om Jnana Tumrandasya Gnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langete Girim At Krupatam Vande Sri Gurum Janataram Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyeswara Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Krupa Sindhubhaya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप गदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय गौर भक्तवृंद की जय. First, look at the verse of this intelligence, the song. Gurudev Krupa Bindu Diya Koro Ye Dase Tranapeka Tihina Sakala Zahane Baladiya Koro Jamane Spruhahina Sakale Zamana Korite Sakati Deho Nata Jata Jata तभी तो गाइबो हरिनाम सुके अपराधे हई बेहात के बोहेनो कृपा लभिया जन कृतार्थ हुई बेनाथ शक्ति बुद्धिहीन अमी अति दीन कोरो मोरे आत्मसात. This is the key for today's verse. Shakti buddhihina. He's thinking, Narottam Das Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, submitting in this way that I don't have a proper intelligence, low intelligence, Ati Dina, I'm the most fallen, really feeling it, not artificially coming up, thinking that, Kore More Atmasat, make me your own Atmasat, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did Atmasat with the Sri Khanda devotees, like Satyaraj Khan, Gunaraj Khan, even a dog. Everybody was delivered, pig, dog, everything, everyone coming from that village was delivered because Haridas Thakur was there before in that village before. So that is what how one should submit. योग्यता विचारे किचो नहीं पाया तुम्हार करुणा सार करुणा ना होइले कांदिया प्राण ना रखिबो आर. Gurudev was spiritual master. Give to this servant just one drop of mercy. I am lower than a blade of grass. Give me all help. Give me this all strength without desires or aspirations. I offer you all respect, for thus I may have the energy to know you correctly. Then, by the chanting of the holy name in great ecstasy, all my offenses will cease. When will such mercy fall to this one who is weak and devoid of intelligence? So that is what we have to think, that always we should be in this position before spiritual master, before Prabhupada. Allow me to be with you, Atmasat, to be in union with you in that way. If you examine me, you will find no qualities. Your mercy is all that I am made of. If you are not merciful to me, I can only weep. I will not be able to maintain my life. So now let us look at what Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur has to say in the this Canto 3. So I think let's look at Canto 6 or Canto 3. Also Prahasta's instruction also. Yeah. The sixth canto, chapter 3, verse number 25. Dull. Consciousness is dull. That's where the problem is. Prayena Veda tat idam na mahajanoyam devya vimohita matir bata maya ayalam trayam jada jadi krita matir madhu pushpityam vaitanike mahati karmani yujamana jada kriti mati. So the intelligence is dulled. Translation by Prabhupada is called. Prabhupada is going to write about Krishna Balaram Mandir. So because they are bewildered by the illusion energy of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Agnavalkya and Jaimini and other compilers of religious scriptures cannot know the secret, the confidential religious system of the 12 Mahajanas. They cannot understand the transcendental value of performing devotional service or chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that is talking about Tarka Pratishta Srutayo Vinnat Naso Munityasya Matam na Vinnam Dharmasya Tattvam Nihitam Guhaya. Because they are constantly Tarka, they are bringing up various arguments and speculations, Jaimini and Yajnavalkya. So that's why they can't understand what Mahajanas has to say. They cannot understand the transcendental value of performing devotional service or chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because their minds are attracted to the ritualistic ceremonies mentioned in the Vedas, especially the Yajurveda, Samveda, Rigveda. Their intelligence has become dull. Thus, they are busy collecting the ingredients for ritualistic ceremonies that yield only temporary benefits, such as elevation to Sargaloka for material happiness. They are not attracted to the Sankirtan movement. Instead, they are interested in Dharmanta Kama Moksha. So that's why devotees are not interested, even in the moksha. We are not interested. Our interest is how to serve, how to please Krishna and Guru. So that is our main focus. Purport by Prabhupada. Since one may easily achieve higher success by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one may ask why there are so many Vedic ritualistic ceremonies and why people are attracted to them. These verse answer that question. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Veda is to survive Ahamaya Vedyo. The real purpose of studying Vedas is to approach the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Unfortunately, unintelligent people, bewildered by the grandeur of Vedic yajnas, want to see gorgeous sacrifices performed. So that's why our focus is on the Kirtanatya Samyogai. Chanting of the holy name is the key. They want Vedic mantras chanted and huge amounts of money spent for such ceremonies. Sometimes we have to observe Vedic ritualistic ceremonies to please such unintelligent men. Even in Krishna Balaram Mandir installation also, Prabhupada is going to talk about that. Recently, when we established large Krishna Balram temple in Vrindavan, we were obliged to have Vedic ceremonies enacted by Brahmanas because the inhabitants of Vrindavana, especially Smarta Brahmanas, would not accept Europeans and Americans as bona fide Brahmanas. Thus, we have to engage Brahmanas to perform costly yajnas. In spite of these yajnas, the members of our society perform Sankirtan loudly with mridangas. That is always the key for Prabhupada. And I considered the Sankirtan more important than the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. That means both Brahat Mridanga, distributing books and reading books, and also actually in the association of devotees, and Sankirtan, chanting the holy name of Lord together. Always the association is the key. So that's why we all have a lot to do. Together we have to improve our consciousness. Together we have to please Guru and Sri Prabhupada. Together we have to improve the deity worship. Together we have to improve our how we are cooking. So all these things we all have to do together. Prabhupada last statement. Please, I am there in the Prabhupada, don't cry. Don't leave us, disciples just cry. And Prabhupada said, I am there in the books. Please read my books and cooperate with each other. Those are the two instructions Prabhupada gave last. Read my books, I am there in my book, in books, and cooperate together. So we all have to cooperate each other. We may have individual opinions, that's fine. But when it comes to the Krishna has to be in the center, Prabhupada has to be in the center. Doesn't matter, you may not agree with me or you may not agree with authority. But still, Prabhupada's statement is clear. You have to cooperate and work together and how we can improve. So put your points and let's see how we can improve. That's what should be our primary focus. Both the ceremonies and Sankirtan were going simultaneously. The ceremonies were meant for persons interested in Vedic rituals, for elevate to the heavenly planets, Jadakrata Matir, Madhu Pushpityam. Whereas Sankirtan was meant for pure devotees interested in pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Would simply have performed Sankirtan, but then the inhabitants of Vrindavana would not have taken the installation ceremony seriously. As explained here, the Vedic performances are meant for those whose intelligence has been dulled by the flowery language of the Vedas, which describe fruitive activities intended to elevate onto the higher planets. Now, the key is for us devotees, the second paragraph is key. Especially in this age of Kali, Sankirtan alone is sufficient. If the members of our temple in different parts of the world simply continue Sankirtan before the deity, Prabhupada wanted Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to be the key focus. Especially at home, we can do whatever bhajan, whatever we want to follow. At temple, maximum time we should be chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra more than anything else. So, maybe in some festivals specifically we may sing, but most of the time Prabhupada wanted Sankirtan means Hare Krishna Maha Mantra always. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction. Especially before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they will remain perfect. There is no need of any other performances. Nevertheless, to keep oneself clean in habits and mind, key, deity worship and other regulative principles are required. Srila Jiva Goswami says that although Sankirtan is sufficient, that is what Kirtanaka Samyoga Bhakti, Samyoga Bhakti. But for the perfection of life, the Archana or worship of the deity in the temple must continue in order that the devotees may stay clean and pure. So our internal cleanliness, external cleanliness. Has to be there. But we are not interested in this. So that's where the problem is again. So both problems are there. Neither we know when we are chanting what are the 10 offenses, neither we try to remember it, neither we try to follow, nor we do deity worship properly either. So both the things are lacking. Then how we can actually come out of another? There is no possibility. So that's why we have to make it serious efforts. Try together in the association of devotees. Let us all try to improve these two aspects. Chanting has to be perfected, quality rounds, and our deity worship also has to be perfect. We have a lot to do. So let us work on it together. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur therefore recommended that one follow both processes simultaneously. Because he knows, Acharya knows what is the problem we have. We are not Haridas Thakur to chant alone, just simply sitting at home. We are not there. We strictly follow his principle of performing deity worship and Sankirtan along parallel lines. This we should continue. Then actually we can. Let's look at the other song. Before that, what is the Grihasthas? Especially most of us are Grihasthas. What we are supposed to do? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is clearly instructing to Satyaraj Khan and Punaraj Khan. What is he telling? He's asking, Grihastha Vishi Ami Ko Mora Sadhane, Sri Mukhe Agna Kara Prabhu Nivedi Charane. Satyaraj Khan said, my dear Lord, being a householder and a materialistic man, I do not know the process of advancing in spiritual life. I therefore submit myself unto your lotus feet and request you to give me the orders. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing, is giving answer. Prabhu Kayena Krishna Seva Vaishnava Sevana Nirantar Kara Krishna Nama Sankirtan. Nirantar Krishna Nama Sankirtan. We have a hard time finishing 16 rounds itself without quality. And then where is the question of Nirantar Krishna? That itself is not going. While cooking, while making garland, while doing every service, we are supposed to chant. Nirantar Krishna means that's what we are supposed to chant. And that's what six Goswamis did. That's what Sri Prabhupada did. That's what the disciples of Guru Varga is doing. Then we have to follow them. Otherwise, where is the question of initiation and surrender? It is just a formality otherwise. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, without cessation, continue the chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna. Whenever possible, serve him and his devotees and the Vaishnavas. So that's why we are, key is there in the serving Vaishnavas. Guru Seva, Vaishnava Seva, then Krishna Seva, and chanting the holy name has to happen. Now look at the verse where Bhaktivinoda Thakur is summarizing that in the in this song. So one must have deep faith. Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives commentary on this chanting of the holy name. Also in this, how Lord Nityananda Prabhu and Namacharya Das Thakur are the patrons. They are the protectors of this holy name. They are distributing the holy names. We have to take their shelter. Nadiya Godru me Nityananda Mahajan Pati Yache Naam Hatta Jivera Karan श्रद्धावान जाने हैं प्रभुरा आज्ञाएं पाई मागी भिक्षा बोलो कृष्णा बजो कृष्णा करो कृष्ण शिक्षा नदिया गोद्रो में नित्यानंद महाजन पति आचे नाम हट्टा जीवेर कारण अपराध शून्य होया लोको कृष्ण नाम Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dhana Pran. This is our key. This third line. Aparada Sunyahai. Chanting the holy name of the Lord, we have to come from Aparad, Nam Aparad to Namabhas. First, we have to know the 10 offenses. We should know, and I give a more easier way to remember. There are two categories of 10 offenses of the holy name. In that, out of 10, first category is first set is first four of them. You can remember easily in this way. Vaishnava first, then Deva, demigods, equal to independent of Lord Vishnu. Third is Guru, Sadhu. Fourth is Shastra. This is the first category. Vaishnava, Deva, Guru, Shastra. In this way, you can remember first category. You don't even need a paper or a book. We have to meditate before we are supposed to before chanting. In the second category of the holy name, related to holy name. First one is imagination. Thinking Hare Krishna to imagination. Then second category is interpretation of the holy name. Third category is on the strength of the chanting of the holy name, committing sinful acting. Fourth is ritualistic, thinking ritual. And the fifth one is instructing faithless person. So imagination, interpretation, strength, and ritualistic, and instructing. These are the five. And the last one, no faith, inattention. Despite hearing so much about this subject matter, still we don't have full faith on the holy name, and we are inattentive. These are 6 categories. In this way, if you remember, then it will go in the brain. You will remember before chanting. You will just contemplate on it, and you will pick up the beats and chant quality rounds. If you don't know, then the Prabhupada has told this. We are supposed to do that, but we don't do it. So that's where the problem is also. अपराध शून्य होया लो कृष्ण नाम कृष्ण माता कृष्ण पिता कृष्ण धन प्राण कृष्णेर संसार पुरो चाड़ी अनाचार जीवे दया कृष्ण नाम सर्वधर्म सार. And here Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that Nam Abha stage means we have to give up all the enjoyment, spirit, karma kanda, jnana kanda, yoga kanda, even liberation also. Otherwise, even when we come to Nam Abhas, he's talking about the Chaya Nam Abhas and the Pratibimba Nam Abhas. There are 2 purports Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given. For this verse number 3, the purport, important purport, how we can come to Nam Abbas stage, and we have to avoid Pratibimba Nam Abbas and come to Chaya Abbas, which means no other things should be there. Completely only to serve Guru and Krishna should be the focus. We'll read quickly purport and close it. Sorry for the delay. In the land of Nadia, on the island of Godruma, the magnanimous Lord Nityananda has opened up the marketplace of the holy name, meant for the deliverance of all fallen souls. Oh, people of faith, by the order of Lord Gauranga, oh, brothers, I beg these 3 requests. of you. Chant Hare Krishna, worship Krishna, and teach others about Krishna. Being careful to remain free of offenses. Just take the holy name of Lord Krishna. Krishna is your mother, Krishna is your father, Krishna is the treasure of your life. Giving up all sinful activities, carry on your worldly duties only in relation to Lord Krishna. The showing of compassion to other souls by loudly chanting the holy name of Krishna is the essence of all forms of religion. Please read yourself by Bhaktivinoda Thakur purport, two of them, so that he explains clearly about this, how we can perfect our chanting. So by in this way, so Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai, so Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Prabhu, are there? No? Okay. Madhur is there. Prabhu, you're on mute. Prabhu, shall we close? Okay, Prabhu might be busy. So let's chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra and Narsinga prayers and Vanchakalpatarubhisya, and then close it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Narsimha, Jai Narsimha, Jai Jai Narsimha, Praladesha, Jai Padma, Veeram Mahavishnum, Jalantam Dharmatomukam, Narsimham Vishanam, Vatram Mrityo, Namaha. Nimraj Narsimhadev Bhagwan ki Jai, Bhakti
Jai.
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 Ki Jai. Ganaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Now let us offer humble obeisance to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Brahmanda, Ananta Kodi Vaishnava. Vancha Kalpataru.
Kalpataruvasya kripa sindhu vaivacha patitanam pavanebhaishno namo.
Jai.
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 Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, everybody. Hari Bom, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.